Yo, We King Fight News. I just gotta say, for all the subscribers, man, shout out to you. And I'm putting this one out there. It's the Patreon page, the official Patreon for King Fight News. For those of you guys who, want to support the channel, this is the place to do it. Patreon at King Fight News. Link will be in the description below. And thank you. Hey, yo, that's right. And we're back at it. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder must have surprised Eddie Hearn once again with this really unprecedented news that he would be signing the contract to face Anthony Joshua in the UK. And, what more can I say? Deontay Wilder, time and time again, showing he's a true champion. That, Luis Ortiz, they call him the boogeyman. Hey, he's Joshua's mandatory. Let's not forget that. He was the #1 rated WBA fighter. And what happened was he tested positive under the WBC clean boxing program. Maybe that shook up your boy Eddie Hearn as well. With all those times Dillian White fought for the Eliminators, was he fighting under the clean boxing program? Was he? And the answer is yes, he has. Right? Because he's already ranked in the top 10. He's got the silver belt. So, look at a guy like Anthony Joshua, who hasn't really... He's in a situation where he hasn't had to fight a WBC eliminator. And there's a lot of rumors swirling around. This guy, he's not being VADA drug tested. What's up with AJ? Right? If he goes and fights Povetkin, is he gonna demand drug testing? I haven't heard anything about that. Right? More on this, guys. You know what it is, man. King Fight. But anyways, Eddie Hearn yet to respond. And now in the situation that Eddie Hearn's in, the next question is always the same. What excuse is Eddie Hearn gonna come up with next? What's it gonna be? This guy, at the same time as Wilder announces he's gonna sign this contract, this is the quote from Shelly Finkel as to why this took a bit of time. So let's get right into it. Alright, shout out to ESPN. Shout out to ESPN for the update as well. Dan Rafael. This is the Dan Rafael story. Deontay Wilder ready to sign contract for showdown with Anthony Joshua. I'm sending him back the contracts with a couple of notes. Shelly Finkel told ESPN. Hopefully there's no problem and we'll sign right after the changes are made. So as you can see, just as a lot of us suspected, Deontay Wilder's team saw a couple of things in that contract that needed some amendments, minor changes is what Finkel describes it to be. And he also said the contract didn't have a date or a venue for the fight. I mean, you know what's funny? Eddie Hearn, this guy who's supposed to have everything ready, you gave us a $50 million offer with no contract, and he loves to point that out. But Eddie Hearn not once ever agreed that $50 million was acceptable, or that, like he didn't even want to even consider accepting that offer. at all. Meanwhile, Josh was out here saying, let's roll. Eddie Hearn wanted to avoid that shit like the plague. And he got as far away from these, you know, at the same time, I know Eddie Hearn claimed he wanted to meet them. But Deontay Wilder's team say, you know what? If you have any interest in this offer, you better accept this $50 million. And Eddie Hearn just couldn't say a word. He couldn't say a word except, you know, hey, I want to meet, but I also, like they expected. See, Eddie Hearn knew, what Eddie Hearn knew was they hadn't drafted a contract yet. And, you know, Shelly Finkel, they didn't want to waste their time with Eddie Hearn. They didn't want to fuck around, pay some lawyers to draft up a contract for this guy to show up at a meeting, you know, have a cup of tea, eat some fucking salmon, and fuck off out of here. You know, they didn't want to go through a situation like that. Which, you know, knowing Eddie Hearn, Mr. fucking tactics, this dude literally strategizes stalling out this fight and has told the media this, you know, 9 times out of 10 all the time. Oh my goodness, guys. Alright, so just to get back at Eddie Hearn and his bullshit ass lies, Shelly Finkel responded to this quote from Eddie Hearn when he said he now has a contract for a week. There's absolutely zero urgency from the Deontay Wilder camp other than posting Instagram videos. He went on to say he believes Deontay Wilder and his team don't want the fight. So here's Shelly Finkel's response to clear up one other fallacy. Eddie knows that they have a written term sheet from us which details our $50 million offer for Anthony Joshua to fight Deontay Wilder in the US. We have never received from them a response to this term sheet. So I mean, basically Shelly Finkel is saying they ducked our offer, isn't he? They ducked $50 million. They ducked the highest heavyweight guarantee in boxing to take less money for a fight in the UK that now Deontay Wilder has pretty much signed off on, or will sign off on, once a couple of minor changes get made. Right? And Shelly Finkel is saying once all that goes down, Eddie Hearn will have the contracts by Friday. How about that, guys? How about that? So again, once again, the guy's showing you he wants to fight. He's playing the game, man. Eddie Hearn wants to talk all this bullshit about making a fight happen. Yet he can't even put in a venue and a date for a fucking contract to make a fight happen. The fucking great Eddie Hearn didn't have any idea what kind, like at least Deontay Wilder in that $50 million offer. Reportedly, there was a date range for the fight, you know, 2018. It was like September to December, anywhere in between. And it was like, it was for a fight in the United States. Most likely Las Vegas. That was the deal for the fight. $50 million. And by the way, I've been getting commenters saying, hey, these fucking AJ fans out here saying, hey, if AJ is making more money than Deontay Wilder, how can you say the money's in America? Yet, if you look at the numbers on this fight, Eddie Hearn's already admitted that this fight does bigger numbers in the U.S. It's a bigger, it's bigger profits in the U.S. And both fighters get paid more in the U.S. Eddie Hearn's admitted this. Barry Hearn's admitted this. So how does that make sense? How does that make sense, guys? More money in the USA for both fighters. And Anthony Joshua ducks that. He ducks that opportunity to stay home. Y'all know what that's about, right? But regardless of that, this fight's going down. It's going down. Like, now I'm thinking this fight's gonna happen. I really am. But who really knows? Who really knows, man? Eddie Hearn, knowing Eddie Hearn, I really don't know. If Anthony Joshua was promoted by anybody else, I would say this fight's 100% going down. But because it's Eddie Hearn, I really don't know. I really don't know. E-King Fight News. Let me know what you guys think, man. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And the Patreon. Alright, man. Peace.